Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the KrankyKraft Labyrinth map-making series with BigDamnArtist. I'm BigDamnArtist, and today we are going to be going through a couple of the trap systems. So I've got two of the technically five, I guess, although one of them is a little weird. But we won't talk about it right now because I don't even know if it's going to work. So, anyways, today we're going to be going over what I've been calling the rotating trap system, which is that little thing right there, and what I've been calling the door system, which is that system right there. So, we will start with the rotating trap system, which if we come in here... So this is GM room. This is where you come in. You spawn here. You come in here. And as you can see, I've been doing some pretty serious work on the GM room. It's much larger than it was in the old map. Anyways, so if we come in here, we'll turn all these on. Yes. So we take a look here. We got arrows and flaming arrows and harming one. And wait a minute, this sounds pretty familiar. This is the adaptation of, and I'm sorry, my mic is just like super spiking right now. I apologize. This is the adaptation of the old automatically spawning trap system that you would like set up, and you would like select which potions you wanted, and then you'd like push a button, and then they'd spawn in a chest, and then you'd like randomize that chest. I hear music. Why do I hear music? I don't know. Anyways, they'd spawn in a chest, you'd randomize the chest, and then you push another button, and they'd all get populated out to the various traps. And then when players are running around in the labyrinth, they would throw potions out at them. This was the seriously flawed system, as we found out when we were doing our playtesting last year in the month of gaming with BRG, in that players could just run up to the dispenser in the, like, half second that the block was gone to allow the potion to exit, and just access the dispenser and pull pretty much everything out, which is not really all that great for game balance, as you can probably imagine why. So I spent some time racking my brain trying to figure out a way to, like, maybe I can like spawn a barrier block or something in front of it, but no, potions can't go through barrier blocks. Maybe I could do, like, the potion gets spawned somewhere else and then it gets teleported with momentum or something like that. But it just wasn't going to work. Primarily because there's, like, 31 of these bastards throughout the entire labyrinth. So having, like, that many clocks going all the time just did not so much with the goodness for the lag being. So I am simplifying, and my mic is still super spiking, and I apologize, and I don't know why it's doing that. So yes, I'm simplifying. I'm kind of in my, let's just get the map working, rather than try to get every last little bit of customization humanly possible inside of it. Because that's just not gonna happen, and I'm gonna kill myself trying to do it. So... excuse me. This is what I came up with. This is the rotating trap system. So basically we have arrows, we have flaming arrows, we have harming 1, harming 2, poison, blindness, wither, nausea, slowness, invisibility, jump boost, regeneration 1, regeneration 2, swiftness 1, swiftness 2, and then we have +2 null spaces times 4. This will make sense in a bit. So let's just, yeah, we'll turn everything on, and I'm just going to quickly turn on a game mode, and I'll show you what this looks like in practice. Let's just turn on the PvP, and then we can take a little flighty flight up to, oh, there's one right there. We're going to look at that. And we will just hop down inside here. Ooh, that was close. So we come around here, and so we've got a bunch of these pressure plates, which, when you step on them, cause a potion to spawn. This one happened to be, what was that, speed? Slowness. Opposite of speed. So yeah, so that's what this does. And there's a bunch of these just scattered throughout the labyrinth. See, there's one right here. But this one doesn't have anything with it. Ooh, sneaky, sneaky. See? And then we fly right here. Here's one. What does this one have? This one has, that's probably a harming potion. Well, let's find out, shall we? Game mode, survival, yay! Yep, that's a harming potion. That's probably a harming potion too, actually. So, that's how that works. And let's see if I can find one of the arrow ones. Because I'm actually really proud of those. Let's see, where's another one? And so, just to expound on the theory of these things a little bit more, one thing that sort of came up in testing when we were doing this is that they were like way overpowered, and they would like basically just kill you. Ah, here's a bow one. So, as you can see, it's shooting out 4 separate arrows. But if we take a look, whoa, underneath, there's only 1 command block. Yes. I'm going to do a tutorial on this as a separate standalone thing because it's a little bulky to put in the middle of this episode. But I'm actually really proud of this. This is pretty cool how this works. And so you can look forward to that sometime in the future. It's actually really cool. And it pretty much lets you spawn as many items as you want out of 1 command block. So that's pretty cool. But otherwise, the activation system for this is like dirt simple. It's just redstone line underneath pressure plates, and then it activates. The only thing that I ran into a little bit of weirdness with is that you have to have 2 pieces of redstone dust here. Otherwise, because this won't power this, if it gets powered, it has to actually like run into it, which is fine. It's just a weird quirk of redstone that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so what the heck is going on here? Let's quickly hop inside here and we'll deactivate the PvP system. Deactivate. And I will walk you guys through this. So, what I'm going to do first, actually, is I'm going to deactivate all of the things. This is actually going to make it a lot easier for me to demonstrate the next thing. Deactivate all the buttons. There we go. So, we come around back here. As you can see, there is just this little bulky thing here, and then the clock system right there. But if we go in, and we turn on... let's just turn on a couple of these at random. As you can see, there are now armor stands, and command blocks. So this is the primary mechanic of how actually both of these systems work, which is why I'm putting them in the same episode. So basically what's going to happen, now let's turn on a couple more of these so I can demonstrate it a little better. Boop, 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 boop. So basically what's going on here is it's a super simple activation system. It's basically a lever pushing a redstone block, which, here's a fun quirk for you. If you remember when we were doing the CTF system, when you put a piston facing up and then you put a redstone block on it, and then you power the piston, it does not retract. It just stays there until you take away the redstone block. It does not do that if you're doing it sideways. You can just boop, and then you go 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 boop, and it works fine. It's normal. So for whatever reason, pistons don't like it when they're on their sides. I think it's a weird quirk of like block updates, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know enough about like the really nitty-gritty of how redstone works to be able to say that. But anyways, that's how this works. It's really just, it's the lever inside is pushing this piston, which is pushing a redstone block back and forth, which is powering these 2 rows of command blocks. So what's going on here? So when you want to activate something. So when you flip the switch on, say, the arrows, which is the first one here. So you flip the switch, it goes boom, and it spawns, or it runs set block, a command block, and then it has a command inside of it. The command is just whatever it is for spawning the arrows. And then it also spawns summon, armor stand, with vulnerability, persistence, whatever. Custom name is the thing that's important. The custom name is Trap Rotate Cell, which is short for select. Trap Rotate Select. So that's what all of these are. Every single one of these armor stands is named Trap Rotate Select. I just don't have the names hidden because, or I don't have the names shown, because they actually are like name tags and they will show up from a fair distance away. So I just don't want to have them appearing, basically. But then, so when you deactivate it, all it does is it just deletes the command block and kills the armor stand. Now, killing armor stands on a specifics block is a little tricky. Basically, you have to kill at entity, put the coordinate of the block, radius equals 1. The radius equals 1 is very important, because otherwise it doesn't recognize it as a valid location. Don't ask me why. I had to do a lot of testing to figure out why it was randomly deleting all of my all of my armor stands, which was really annoying. And I had to back up from saves multiple times. I have so many backups of this map. But yeah, so radius equals 1, very important. Type equals armor stand, also very important. Otherwise it'll delete every entity in your game, which, yeah, that's a backup for you. And then name equals trap rotate select, which is also very important. And it's just doing that over and over and over and over again. It's every single one of these is spawning pretty much the exact same thing. Just the command that is inside, like this one, is spawning a thrown potion. Whereas these ones are spawning arrows. This one is spawning an arrow with fire. So yeah, that's how that works. So then, I'm just going to turn on all of these. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Meow. Oh. So this is all of the commands that we've got. And then over here, we've got the clock, which is basically counting down between rotations. So what's going to happen here is that when the system is activated, this is going to turn to a redstone block. This is turning it back to stone. This is the exact same clock system that I'm using all over this map. So then this is filling redstone blocks, which is filling this line of stone right there, which I'll get to in a second. It's setting the trap rotate clock to 10 seconds. It's testing the clock 1 to 30. It's between, oh, I need to change this to 1 to 45 because I changed things. So 1 to 45, actually, no, well, I can do this. I can do like 100, doesn't really matter. Because the upper end, it doesn't matter as long as it's not 0. Anyway, so it's testing. If it's active, it's running the clock. It's removing a value from the clock. It's testing whether or not the clock is at 0. If it is at 0, it runs the fill command again, which is over there, and sets the clock back to whatever value. Now, one thing that I did include is inside here we have the trap rotation delay. So basically, you can set it to change traps every 15 seconds, every 30 seconds, or every 45 seconds. This is a super simple system. All it's doing is you push a button and it changes that. If we go take a look at the command blocks for it, it's like dirt simple. Basically, it's just you push the button, it goes through a repeater into this command block, which sets all of the redstone on the display. So there's like redstone behind the glowstone lamps, as I'm using for every single system, pretty much. And then it goes into this block, which is powering these two command blocks here. But basically, all it's doing is it's setting the command block, which is this one at the end here, to be, you know, whatever value we set it at, and then setting the redstone block to say, hey, this one is active. So we can show you that again here. So we push the button, it clears all of the, or it sets all of the redstone blocks behind here to stone, and then it replaces the command block with one that has the right command for 30 seconds, puts the redstone block behind there, and you're good to go. And that's how this works. So that's how we can have, you know, either you want the traps to change every 15 seconds, every 30 seconds, or every 45 seconds. It's fairly simple. This fill command here is activating this bulky thing over here. This is the heart of the randomization, I guess you could call it. Basically what's going on here is every single one of these... excuse me. Liquids. Every single one of these is running an execute command. Executes are my favorite command in this game, pretty much, because it's so freaking useful. Although a little bit tricky to use sometimes. Anyways, it's running an execute at a random entity with a type of armor stand and a name of trap rotate select, which, if you remember, is every single one of these armor stands right here. So it's picking a random one of those, executing it at the relative value to the armor stand, so directly on the base of the armor stand, because an armor stand always pulls location value from its base, running the clone command as that armor stand, using its own relative position as the as both corners of the clone command, and then cloning it to a coordinate. Basically, in plain language, all it's doing is it's saying, hey, I'm going to pick one of you armor stands. Okay, I pick this one. This armor stand. Okay. I'm running a clone command as this armor stand. Oh, look, there is a command block right at my base. I'm going to clone this command block to whatever block is listed in here. So what that means in practice is that it's choosing a random trap, or a random, like, potion effect or arrow effect or null, which is just an empty, and duplicating it to right here. Right there. That's all it's doing. So, basically, every time this gets run, it's completely changing the location of traps and how many traps and where there are traps and all of, or, sorry, yeah, like rotating traps, and all of that kind of stuff. So, basically, it's just hopefully as random as I can get it. Minecraft's, like, random selectors aren't always as random as you would like them, but for what this is doing, it's close enough. And it's good enough. And these nulls in here are just so that we have those, like, maybe this one will be a trap, or maybe this one won't be a trap. So, like, if you're a really, like, tricky GM, you could come in here and be like, okay, let's just turn all these off. This is my GM voice, because for some reason this is how this GM is going to talk. And so, okay, so I'm going to say, okay, so flaming arrows, and then we'll give it a, like, 1 in 5 chance of being flaming arrows. So, like, it could be a flaming arrow that you step on, or it could be nothing. Do you want to take the risk? Yes. Or we could be really bastards and go harming. We could go, like, if you really want to play some mind games, you do it like that. It's like, okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 1 in 9 chance that you're going to get a harming too. Or you could do it like, you could be a real asshole and do it this. Because this would cause every single trap in the entire labyrinth to be a harming 2 potion. And everyone would hate you. So, that's how that works. Alright. So that's the rotating trap system. Let's move on to the next one, which is right here. So we've got 3 options right here for the door system. I'm going to try and go through this pretty quickly because we're already sitting at 20 minutes. Oh my god! These things always take longer to explain than I think they will. So we've got no doors, which is easy mode. Random doors, which is intermediate. All doors, which is very hard. So let's just turn on all doors. Boop. And I don't even have to turn on the game for this to start. So I know that there's one over here. So the word doors is actually a little disingenuous. It's really more just like a wall. So if we hop down in here, you can see that there is this giant wall of iron bars that is impossible to get through. So this makes things much more complicated for getting from base to base. This is one of those really pain-in-the-ass things that you want to do if you want to, like, really up the difficulty of the game for, like, CTF. And there's another one right here, and there's a potion, and it's like, okay, that one was regeneration. That one's not too bad. So, yeah, so there's these doors. I have extensively tested, theoretically. There are 6 doors, and with all of them activated, you can still get from base to base. It's just, it takes longer, which is kind of the point. Because one thing that we found in playtesting is that players would just be like, okay, I take a left from my base, and then I go right, and then a left, and then a left, and then I'm at their base! Great! This forces players to sort of find alternate routes to bases, and hopefully just provide a little bit more difficulty for people who want it. Let's see, I can't even remember where the other doors are. That was 3 of them. I know there's 3 more. I think there's one by red base. Well, I know there's one by red base, I just can't remember where. Let's see if we can go find it quickly. Yeah, here we go. So, like, red base is right there. There's a door right here that leads to the ashtray that you can't get through. And this is the soul room. Yeah, I don't know. There are 6 of them in here, anyways. So let's hop out of here. And then, I mean, the other options are fairly straightforward, really. No doors is just the straight labyrinth. Random doors is basically it'll choose a random set of doors to have activated at a time. Alright, command blocks. Let's get into command blocks for this thing. So we've got basically 3 sort of lines of redstone right here. We've got the no doors, we've got the all doors, and then we got the random doors. All doors and no doors are really dirt simple. Basically all that's happening is each button is running through this line here. If you guys aren't aware, like if you're fairly new to command blocks and stuff, if you run a redstone signal into a block like this, it'll only power command blocks that are directly contacting that block. Whereas if you run a signal into a command block directly, it'll power ones that are on opposite or alternate sides of it. So like if this was just on this level and we ran a signal into it, it would also power this one, which is not good, which is not good for making compact systems like this. However, if you run it like this, it'll only power this one, it'll only power these 3. So I can make these really compact systems like this, which is awesome. So anyways, we've got the button selector here. It's running into set block redstone block, which is over here. So it'll set basically, what is this? This is no doors. So this would set this one to redstone right here. This one is just turning this back to stone, as always. This one is setting the random doors clock to -1. I'll get to that in a second. Basically, it's just turning off the clock. And then it's... Oh, that's what that was. Haha, I know what that was. And then all it's doing is it's filling air with iron bars. No, it's filling iron bars with air within these coordinates. Basically, it's saying if there are iron bars here, put air instead. Which, if you guys do any stuff with the fill command and you don't know about replace, oh my god, it's so useful. It's amazing. So that's what that's doing, and then this is just doing literally the opposite. It's going, if there is air there, put iron bars. And this is for all doors. So it's just, boom, all 6 doors, boom, all 6 doors. So the next one would be the random doors in the middle. So what's going on there is exactly the same thing. Oh, these 3 command blocks here, all these are doing is it's just setting this and this and this to stone. Or sorry, this and this to stone, and then this to redstone. Like this one in the middle is active right now, so it'll be setting that to redstone, and then the other 2 to stone. It's just, you know, so the GM has some sort of display of what's active. Because, you know, I'm a good map maker like that. So anyways, not to toot my own horn or anything. So we've got that, which we push the button, it sets this to redstone. This turns it back to stone. This sets the random doors clocked to 30. Hey, we know this story. This, testing random doors clock between 1 and 30. If yes, activate clock. Hey, remove random doors clock 1. Removing values. Hey, testing random doors is at 0. Yes or no? So when this counts down to 0, runs this, which this is doing, resetting the clock back to 30. Clearing all doors. So this is basically just running this line here just to clear all the doors. Don't gotta worry about it. All the doors go away. And then it runs door 1, door 2, door 3. So every time this runs, there's going to be 3 chances for any one of these doors to spawn. This, again, like I said, this is why they're in the same episode. This command is doing the exact same thing that the other ones over there are. It's executing at a random armor stand who has the name random door select, which all of these armor stands do. And then it's running at the relative command, set block, redstone block. So what it's doing is it's choosing one of these armor stands and replacing the block at its base with a redstone block. Like you can see, ooh, right there, that's what happened. And then it's doing this, which is just restarting this right here. It's just one of the quirks of having this set to -1. And the only reason I do this is so that when you switch from the random clock to one of these, it automatically shuts off the clock. Because if thinking about it logically, when you set the clock value to -1, it's no longer between 0 and 30, so the clock just doesn't have any values to work with. So it just shuts it all down. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what's going on there, and then it just restarts the clock, because there's this here, which is restarting the clock. And then it goes. So basically it's choosing one random one, one random one, one random one. And yeah, see, like, you literally just saw it right happen there. There's a quirk, or, well, it's not really a quirk, it's just there's a chance that with how Minecraft's random selection works, that you can get 2 of the same. So like you just saw happen the one before this, you got, this one got selected twice, but it's the same door, so it's only going to be there once. So basically you've got a chance for there to be 1, 2, or 3 doors. So there's a bit of just built-in randomness in terms of how many doors there are going to be. And there's only going to be a maximum of 3 doors, so there's only, at its peak, there are only going to be 3 of 6 doors active. So it's just kind of a constantly rotating, constantly shifting, you never know where a door is going to show up type of thing. And I think this is a little fast. Like, I think, because like 30 seconds is kind of my default. It's a little fast right now. Like, we don't need the doors changing that often. So what I think I might do actually is I'll just change this to 200 because that doesn't matter. But then I'll change this to like, well, let's go with every minute and a half. How about we do that? Or, that might be a little bit long. Let's go every minute. And so, yeah, that has to get changed. So let's just quickly update this. And let's go scoreboard, objectives, display sidebar to clock. And so you can see there you've got the random doors clock counting down. Oh man, that's counting down really quick. You know what that might be, actually? It's probably this. Yep, that's what it is. I always forget to set that, and that's what makes it actually be like a second, not like a brrrr thing. So, anyways, yeah, we'll set this to a minute for right now. So, anyways, one of these gets chosen. This gets turned to a redstone block. This just turns it back to stone, and this just runs one of those replace commands, basically just setting it to iron bars. Because if you remember back here, it's clearing all doors. So all the doors are gone, and then it's just putting a door in its place. It's really pretty logical once you sort of understand what's going on. And I'm gonna fix this clock while I'm at it here. Oh yeah, no, you see this one I actually did. Would you look at that? Apparently I was actually thinking when I built that one. What do you know? Alright, well that is the door system and the trap rotate system. The trap rotate system is definitely a marked improvement over the last system. Just in terms of the GM room, it's way more streamlined. You've just got one option right here, one option right there, and then boom, you're good to go. The map sets everything else up when you start the game. Dirt simple. This is something we had always talked about, and is finally now implemented. Let's just turn off the scoreboard objectives. Turn that off. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. So, in terms of other traps, we have the barricade traps, we have lava traps, and we have the catacombs. Ooh, very teasery. I haven't built any of these yet. Well, I'm currently in the middle of building this one. These ones are fairly simple. I just gotta build them. So, I don't think those will be next episode. We do have the loot system and the gear system here to go over yet, although those haven't really changed since the old system, but I'll walk you guys through them anyway. So yeah, that's that. Later this month, in a couple weeks here, well, I guess about a week and a half, if even that, we have a playtesting session for the Labyrinth here. So hopefully you guys will have a bunch of footage from that coming up in a couple weeks here, and that'll sort of guide a bunch of things that I need to change and bug fixes and all that kind of balancing type stuff. And then after that we will get into the mobs and finishing up all the building stuff, and then we will have a finished map, guys. I know, it seems so impossible. There's still a lot of work left to do, though. We are definitely getting there. There's, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, at any rate. Alright, anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been another episode of the KrankyKraft Labyrinth map-making series with BigDamnArtist. I've been BigDamnArtist. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in today's episode, definitely leave them down in the comments down below, or hit me up on Twitter at BigDamnArtist. I am more than happy to try to explain my incoherent ramblings. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys.